Hello, everyone. Tanya Bartolini here with you with Business and Beyond. And today we have an exciting guest on Feature Friday. Her name is Krysten Bacan with Show Me, Tell Me. Thank you for joining us, Krysten.
Hey, thank you so much, Tanya, for having me here. It's awesome. I think
So,
I think it's our second time. I love it.
our second interview together. Yes,
Exactly, I love it.
it's a great partnership. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do? Where are you from?
Well, let's see where I'm from. Grew up in the Midwest, Cleveland, Ohio area, actually. And I started in IT about 3 decades ago. Everything from installing networks to programming to mainframe to communications, and eventually worked up to be an IT director and CIO. And then I switched into consulting, and like in 1994, I'm dating myself here. Since then, I've been helping like large companies, small companies, basically be better companies, using IT and technology. So,
Okay. And so what is your current business?
well, we just launched Show Me, Tell Me, launched it on May 1st. And we saw a problem in the industry. Every time there's an issue or a problem with data privacy, we could just read about these things in the newspaper. You call up the client, you say, are you concerned about data privacy? And they go, hey, bring me the IT person, have them come in here. Well, we see a pattern with that, and really, data privacy isn't just an IT thing; it is an overall company thing. It's not. IT is one of six things that we look at, one of six. Everything else, how we handle data, how we collect it, where we move it, what we do with it, and then when we're done with it, what happens to that data? That's what we're all about. And we built an entire framework around this.
So tell me a little bit about Show Me, Tell Me. What do you mean when you built an entire framework around this and you launched it? What is it exactly that you've launched?
So what it is a group of professionals from all different walks of life, not just IT. Because again, like we're saying, this is not just an IT problem. This is an HR problem. It's an administration problem. It's a problem in the shop floor. It's a problem with third-party providers. Okay. When there's a compromise and there's an issue or a problem, data gets out, it comes back in that company. You can't assign it away. And so we built a system that looks at all of this. We look at IT, but also a whole lot more in an organization. And so as building a framework, yeah, we have a system in the background, patented, trademarked, and copyrighted. We're the only ones that we're aware of doing this in this industry. And so, we are training independent appraisers all over the world right now to be able to go out to clients and look at their systems, work with the C-level execs, look at everything and the processes and everything about an organization, and come back with a simple red, green, or it's a yellow. Real simple, easy to understand. And then be able to work with the customer to basically fix their issues and problems. So we have a certification program. We have a platform and a system that we operate. We have a methodology and practices in the way that we do things that are proprietary to what we do. And so we feel very strongly, if you take the other compliances that you see in the world and you look at ours, we fit just like this. We looked at all the gaps that they don't fill, and we believe we have filled them. So it can only help improve things the way things are going currently.
So, as a certified Show Me, Tell Me appraiser myself, I
Yeah.
can say that I absolutely love your system because, like you said, it does go and holistically analyzes a company from the policies and procedures to management to operations to IT, right? And to see not only are you actually checking off those marks for compliance, because we all know just because you check them doesn't mean you don't have data
Yeah.
risk, right? But also, what is your data risk and how can we limit it? And one of the things I love about your program is it's not that you fit everybody into the
Right.
program. It fits everybody else, right?
Right.
So some companies might need a higher security than others, and it takes that into account when it's doing the analysis. So I love that. Now, what do you love about your business? Why are you in this business?
Boy, I've been in, like I said, I've been in it for a very long time, and I think the best thing I like about it is going in and working with a client and fixing and improving their operation, finding something they haven't discovered, finding a new way to help them be more secure, and then also helping the appraisers they have their own clients and their own businesses and their own things that they do, but this is something that we can help them add on to what they're currently doing. That just helps everybody. And the more of these appraisers that we have out there that are certified, more companies we have using this, we hope that we're going to change the world with this. That's what we are planning to do. Let's look at data privacy differently, than what we've been looking at it before.
It is awesome. So can you share with our audience a little bit about some of the obstacles that you have faced as a business owner and how you have overcome them? And the reason I ask this is because most of our audience are business owners,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to help them alleviate some of their pain points through learning, from learning through other people's obstacles and what they've done. So what are some things that you can share with us?
Well, I tell you, I think, at least for me, the biggest obstacle is up here. That's the biggest obstacle. I think that's, when you have a bad day, oh my God, the sky is falling, things are horrible, and a bad day is just a bad day, or, imposter syndrome. Oh my God, that's horrible. Like, I don't deserve this. I don't feel like I should be in this, doing this, or, that's a tough one. No, you deserve it. You really deserve what you do. You deserve what, the reward from this. You are in the right place. Otherwise you wouldn't be there. And I think the other thing too is turning off the outside voices. There are all kinds of outside voices. Everybody has an opinion, and not all the opinions are positive. And me personally, in my world, I turn off everything. I mean, I don't listen to negativity. If someone says I can't do something, okay, I don't want to deal with it. We are doing this. We can do this. There is nothing that stops anybody from doing doing their dream. There's nothing to stop them. So turning off the negativity and just being, do your best to be positive every day. And when you can't, have a friend, call up a friend. Hey, I'm having a bad day. Oh, and that positive friend says, you know what? Let's slow down. Let's take a look at everything. Tomorrow's a new day, and that just keeping that positivity. That's always been my challenge.
I think 95% of the battle is mindset,
Mhm.
right?
Oh,
So that's a great, I love that you have try to be positive. Don't listen to the negativity and call a friend.
yeah.
That imposter syndrome, I will say, RJ Jenkins has a TEDx talk. It's a TEDx Ocala about imposter
Oh,
syndrome.
really? Okay.
Yes, it is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't listened to it, I urge you to listen to it. And what he says is, isn't it just that we're uncomfortable because we're learning something new?
Exactly.
How is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Right. So it's okay to have imposter syndrome or the imposter phenomena, as he calls it, because that just means you're growing,
Yeah.
you're bringing more value. So that is wonderful. Another thing that I actually really agree with is your friends and family, and our brains are always, they're wired to keep us safe from
Yeah.
harm,
Yeah.
right? And if we don't know what's going to happen, our brains automatically believe that it's unsafe.
Yeah.
So when you talk to your friends or your family or loved ones about your journey and your business, if they've never been there, done that,
Right.
automatically they're going to try to protect you
Yeah.
and tell you,
Mhm.
don't do it. It can't be done. Why are you going to do that? Why are you going to risk this?
Yeah.
Right? So one of the things I've learned is when you need advice, ask someone who's been there, done that.
Exactly. Exactly. I was turned on to Steve Jobs. I never really, being from the Microsoft world, Steve Jobs, it's kind of interesting reading some of his things. And one of my challenges I had in my own mind, when we launched Show Me Tell Me is, oh, geez, this is kind of a departure for what I've been doing. This is going to be successful. It's kind of I haven't, launched a new thing like this in 3 decades, and we've got something unique here. We have large companies looking at this now, large Fortune 500 companies looking at our product and saying, oh, we want to talk with you. We think we can use this in our own practice, and so it's been amazing. But one of the things Steve Jobs, it's like, he had a lot of failures this time, and fear of failure it can be debilitating. It can be completely debilitating to the point where you just don't want to do it, and or take a risk. And one of the things Jobs did, he failed. He didn't, when he left Apple and he started up the other companies that he started, was it Next, I think it was. And things weren't that great, and Apple was in a precarious situation. He went back, and when he went back with a fresh mind. He went back with something completely different because the burden of success from his previous success wasn't there. He was able to reinvent and look at things differently when he went back. And I think that's important, that you're starting a new venture. Yeah, I had a great job. I was making lots of money. I'm going to go do something different, but I'm scared to do it. Yeah, it can be scary to do something like that. But the burden of success also is lightened when you start something new, because now it's like you're looking over against a new challenge, a new day, a new everything, and that's hard sometimes to overcome. But you can't. You just got good people around you. That's the key.
And that's wonderful. So now, what in your business is running smoothly, and how
Mhm.
did you accomplish that?
Oh boy, I think the team is really, it's not just one thing. The team pulls together, and the team, we always communicating from the development team to the accounting team to the support team, because again, we still have two other businesses too. And so everybody pulls together. And so we communicate amongst each other, we share ideas. And then the cool thing about it is, as we've certified appraisers, now that team has become bigger. And so amongst the appraisers, not only are we building this system and the processes and procedures, but we're also building, and I hate to use the word ecosystem, but like a community of people that are working together, from different walks of life. So I could pop into our internal channels that we all share. And if I have a challenge on something I'm looking at with a client, or you're looking at something, hey, what if you've encountered this? Have you seen this before? Bang, there's 3 or 4 responses that come back. Yeah, I've seen this. Maybe you want to check that. Oh, you need a contract review? Well, we have Tanya, and we have people that do different things in different disciplines, and the team is how you succeed, and having the best people around you, and not, and when there's naysayers, no naysayers, let's work together, nothing we can't accomplish.
That is such a great thing that you have a good team, because the team will make or break your company, right?
They will.
That
Yep.
so on that note, do you have any words of advice for our audience? How can they be better, make their businesses better? What, a better life, anything of that?
I think at least from my perspective, again, this up here, that everything starts there. You own your business. That is part of you. It's extension of what you do. But it's also its own living, breathing thing. Okay. You are not your business. Okay. You are not your business, and your business is not you. Okay. And so being able to step outside and away from that and be able to go have some family time, go to the beach. Even if you take an hour or two during the day and there's no appointments, nothing's going on, there's no fire drills or crises, go get a cup of coffee or go do something. Get your mind in the frame where where you're taking care of yourself, because your business, okay, it can be all consuming. And I've learned so much in 3 decades in business. I've worked 20 hours, I've done overnight, all-nighters, I have done, things. And frankly, if you're dead, you're not helping anybody. Okay. You can't help your client if you're sick in the hospital, or you're, in a place where you overwork and you just can't do it. You can't, you're not helping anybody. Think of your mind. Look at the obstacles, looking at them as challenges to overcome. Taking that personal time, getting that reflection. I can't stress that enough. And then when it comes to the business, you know what? Look at your client. Look at what they want, what their needs are, what they need, and look at it objectively. Okay. And then build the best team you can.
That is fantastic. So not just one piece of advice, but three.
A
And
few. It all fits together. It all
it,
fits together. Yeah.
yes, it does. And it really, those three things really do make a great life,
Mhm.
right? Not just a good business, but a great life. So thank you so much for being here today. And my
Thank
last
you. Thank you
question,
for having me. This is great.
yes. So my last question is, how can people get in touch with you?
Great. Good question. All right. Well, my email, one way, Krysten, Krysten, at showme hyphen tellme.com. That's one way. And the other way, call me, 561-660-1129. You can reach me there. And so, and then ultimately go to our website. You can put it, hit info@showmetellme.com, but I'm very accessible, and they can reach you.
So what is your website?
Okay, so look at www.showme-tellme.com.
Fantastic. And we will have that information in the chat and accessible to everybody. Krysten, thank you so much for being here with us today,
Thank you
and
for having me.
some of your wisdom from 3 decades of being in business. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Till
Thank you
next.
so much. Bye now.